Hello, all, and welcome back to HighPriest Reacts to My Love Only, Friendship is Magic, Season 7, Episode 17, To Change a Changeling. And, yeah, that's clearly the, Badlands and the Changeling base. Now overgrown with wildlife and shit. Which, I mean, is a bit weird. I understand they were eating love, but I have no idea how that affected the wildlife. Okay, you can't. Is there a tree that's been just massive chunks taken out of its side, and holes in the surrounding area where things were dug? Okay, weird. Okay, not sure. Right. So I watched the last two of the Camelot shorts I've got marked down to be relevant. Not in the they're apparently one of them got mixed up as is kind of the episode 5 and not the last one, but turns out I didn't really need to worry. There was no real substance to those. Spoilers warning. I could have figured that out partway through, but you had to be sure. Okay. So, the two, but I will cover them anyways because I've done so before, and you might about them. Leaping off the pages, Equestria Girls Rainbow is reading Daring Do books, getting really into it, while things are disturbing her. Specifically, they're poking into her imagination, with the villain going, honk, 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 a bird being her cell phone, and eventually the world tearing apart as someone knocks on the door. Yeah. It was silly, dang, but there was nothing really to say there. There was epic fails, I'm like, ugh. Which is what the girls imagine being caught during their own epic fails. Which, involve things like, Sideswipe messing up an experiment, Pinky and Applejack messing up some baking, Fluttershy trying to pull a Disney princess with some birds, and ending up with a horrible hairdo bad enough that it's caused someone to roller skate into a pole, and Rarity had some of her lunch stuck in her teeth, and completely missed Sunset's attempts to warn her, which eventually escalated to Sunset grabbing a piece of a nearby pod plant and at her. Which, not only didn't help her figure out what was going on, it also just embarrassed her. In public, too. And then, of course, they go, we never have any moments like that, and then they get up and go trip. Oh, I forgot Rainbows, which was catching a soccer ball off the store she works at when it fell off the shelf, playing with it, and accidentally sending it careening into a stack of soccer balls. Yeah. And then they all trip on top of each other via wet floor and go, epic fail! It's like, yeah, nothing real substance. This, on the other hand, has Trixie and Starlight in it. On the other hand, it's got the fucking changelings in it. And I've made something very fucking clear. I don't like what the show did with the changelings. Now, like I've said before, I'm never going to do what other people do, and what I used to do, where I claim a fanfic is better than canon. No, that's awful. But I know what I prefer. And I think they just completely botched everything to do with it. Some people hate Discord, some people hate, see Trixie and Starlight there, hate, Starlight. Me? I don't like the Changelings. Oh, they don't like. Some people don't like Sombra. For me, it's the Changelings. I don't like them. I used to really like them, but I think they. I'm not gonna say they ruined the concept because I think it works for other people. I don't like it. I'm not really sure how many other ways I can say it. But I do like Trixie and Starlight. So, even if the episode does excuse me. We want something? Even if the episode does a bunch of stuff I don't like with the Changelings, I should at least be able to get some entertainment out of them. Right. So, this is for like except Sorax. I don't know what else to say here, but let's. Oh yeah, and with that, we're done with the Canterlot shorts, and all that's left is a straight shot to the end of the season, which is about 9 more episodes. Then the movie, and I am free until I start season 8. But there's only 2 more seasons left, and even if there's a bunch of other stuff here, there's no movie review for me to do, which, thank God. And yeah, and I'll probably end up doing this again some point. Just probably, if this year, it'll be probably in 6 or 8 months because I just don't. This is not one of my preferred things to do. I like it though, and I like doing the reactions enough that I'm going to just continue doing the reactions. That I'm not going to watch a show without doing the reactions. Anyways, let's get.
Before Chrysalis's throne was destroyed, the closest magic would have gotten us was way over there.
Yeah, what a long distance.
How happy do you think Thorax is going to be about our success?
Yeah, I just think you've still quite got to hang on the teleportation magic, so
Wouldn't be happy at the chance to marvel at the overwhelming Smallworth keeps eating them all up.
Okay, so that's what caused it. Uh-huh.
You're just trying to scare me, but it won't out here.
On one hand, yay, and the Changeling who didn't change. On the other hand, the only reason they're not changed is because they're a moron, because there's literally no reason not to do the share love thing over eat love. And I still do think they're not eating love anymore, so things are growing near them. It's kind of dumb.
These trespassers. Starlight, your color wasn't intimidating to our enemies. What enemies? I am so.
Well, I mean, he is right that you're not intimidating with your fuchsia, and you do actually look much better in black than that god-awful color scheme that you all have.
Banks used to be head of patrol, but now we're peaceful and there's no need.
Trixie don't want any part of it, but they're just his friend.
If there's any pony who
And yeah, no, the guy's a jerk, but I mean, look, I will repeat, I think, it is not the bad, I think the reason for why they weren't sharing love is dumb, because it's literally just a matter of them being too stupid to do this beforehand.
I put you in a bag. I thought it went great.
I kinda like him, even though he's a jerk and grumpy. He's an asshole, but I like him. And, how?
That's ridiculous. Being second best, and I...
Trixie was that, not even that.
Wow, sounds like you're laying your feelings for him is for talking about me behind my back.
Yeah, that's not gonna help issues a lot.
That's bothering you. Is there something you'd like to share, Fairy?
Oh dear.
Actually, the soup's cooled down. These feeling forms are great for solving problems. Everyone, please, we are interrupting each other.
Stupid.
We're not at
Okay, that's a cool translation.
Thanks, Pharynx. Why are you hitting yourself? Stop hitting yourself! Why are you hitting yourself? Ouch!
Okay, nobody's allowed to pick on him but him.
Right, you know. You need to have toughened skin. But love and friendship into his life.
Yeah, this is a Starlight plan, alright?
I know, right? Where's Ferrix? He's gone.
Sure.
Like gone to the throne room? Gone like gone. What
Oh
changed
no,
this
he's the thing eating all their plants.
And the giant monarch is coming this way. Doesn't make any sense. The trail of plants
Trixie.
morph away. I might have relayed them to lead I was gonna volunteer anyway. Who else is coming?
Yeah, literally none of them. Because, you know what? Ferrix is like, they're kind of wusses.
Stay here, not help Ferrix out. That was an amazingly epic speech, Starlight.
It worked!
I can't blame them.
Trixie, I love you. Oh, you are great.
By ourselves. Maybe it'll be long gone and we'll find Ferrix out here alone.
Okay, so he's not the thing. He's just fighting it. That's a fairly intimidating D&D monster right there.
I'm here to save you.
Hey, what can I think take?
I mentioned in my letters that mallworts have really big hides.
Damn it, still.
Defend ourselves. Clearly.
Okay, yeah, clearly.
Stop protecting us.
Don't transform, don't transform, don't transform.
You still want to leave the hive.
I want one translating to look at least a little cool. Okay! That one actually works well.
He transformed. I always knew
It's the darker colors that make it work better.
Because I thought you said I was a lost cause and you were going to tell Thorax he should kick me out.
Starlight.
Trixie, you!
Lucky for
God
us,
damn
you weren't
it,
lost.
Starlight. My Trixie,
You didn't give up on me.
Yeah, it's not nearly as gaudy, so it works better.
Yeah, let's talk about how you not.
Okay, so, right. I realize I've come across exactly like all those people who are bitter about Adam not being what they thought he was, and what. Though the difference between, I will say, there was still a difference between what I was doing and them, and that's firmly I understood what I thought didn't actually matter. That my headcanon was that they weren't beholden to making my headcanon. Like, that's the thing. They could have done. There are probably. I'm not a writer. My only attempts at it are floundering shit shows. I'm not good. These people are, and well, they make mistakes. I don't know what. I have no idea what they could do with it. Really. I just think there are other possibilities that they could have explored that probably would have been better. It's just, I really don't like the idea of the whole redeeming this character by having them do something. Redeeming a character by having them do something they could have done all along with nothing stopping them is not so bad. Redeeming an entire race with what could be centuries of doing this. Why is this one dude special? That's my problem. If the show could not fix it, but at least annul some of my complaints. Ferrix does fix my color complaints. He's the only one who's kept a dark color scheme, which makes him actually look alright. He looks great, but everyone else looks gaudy as fuck. At least with the most of him being dark and the little of him that is more brightly colored being the same part that was brightly colored before, that actually looks good. Everything else looks gaudy as fuck, and it's like, ugh. Especially Thorax. Just, ugh. But, you know, how do I put this? One of the ways they could annul it, that could easily, not completely annul my complaints, but at least make it better, is to establish that there are other groups of changelings who did this, but they did it in smaller groups, and, I don't know, Chrysalis and her predecessors removed them before they could become a problem. If you're going to have I just think it's more compelling and better if it's not something they could have done easily. But for some reason, their entire race, for who knows centuries, never sought to do that. That's my problem. I don't usually get this. I don't really complain this way when it's about an individual, because individuals are allowed to be more flawed than groups. Like, I'm someone who will say that a person is smart, but people are stupid. But there's also a limited amount how big that people can be stupid before it just comes off as horrible. And that's just... And... Yeah, I'm not saying my headcanon is better, because if you had me write it with my headcanon, oh god, it'd be worse. I am not a good writer. And a good writer can see possibilities that I can't. It's like, if you see my reaction to the end of RWBY, the latest season of RWBY, I fully admit that for a good chunk of that season, I had no idea where the fuck anything was going. And while things went in a way I didn't personally like with certain characters, that I still enjoyed them from a writing perspective, because holy shit, it was good. I didn't get that here. And I ended off with, I have no idea where the fuck they can take this. And I'll say it. Where it's ended, it looks to me like they might have to resort to an ass pull to fix not fix, but get things at some point. But I'm not going to say that our writers are going to do that, because I'm not good enough at plotting to even begin guessing what the fuck the writers could do, and whether they can pull it off. And the same goes for this. Like, I think there's something they could do that was better, but I've got no idea what it would be. I know what I prefer, but who's to say what I prefer is truly good either? It's just, ultimately, I don't like it. And I'm never going to like it. No matter how much so every time the show brings it back, I mean, on one hand, I can appreciate the show is bringing it back for the people who do enjoy it and the people who are at least neutral about it, because it's great to see a continuity. It's just, when there's one thing you really don't like, it's always not so fun to see continuity to that. You know? Trying to make sure I don't come off like an asshole here with this. Anyways, yeah. HighPriest signing out. And I'll see you all next time. Daring Dawn.